and just wanted to sit down and go over with her sort of like how it's been going. And obviously I know how it's going or we wouldn't be sitting here, but you don't know yet. Before we do that though, just what do you do in your, like, what's your job? What kind of career do you have?
I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for 30 years. This is my 30th year.
Okay. And I know that we talked on the phone a couple of weeks ago and you told me that you had something shocking happen at this job that, in this career that you've been in for a long, long time.
I did. I've been in Washington State 4 years, and I'm at this school system and tenured in the school system. And there's a lot of budget cuts going on. And about 2 weeks ago, my supervisor came in on a Friday afternoon and unexpectedly and handed me a letter that said that I probably wouldn't be reissued a contract because of what they call RIF, reduction in force.
Ouch.
So that was really kind of shocking.
Because you kind of, you've been in the tenured. I mean, I think that used to mean like, you know, hey, your job's safe for a long time. Kinda.
Kind of. Tenured in a pretty specialized certification, so I felt like I was fairly safe in my job.
Wow. And so there's the possibility that, you know, that could go away. And luckily, oddly enough, you've been working on putting one of these postcard projects together, and so let's talk a little bit about how that's been going so far. How has it been doing this? Because this is something completely new to you.
It is completely new to me, and it's the first time that I'd tried anything like this. And putting together everything that I needed to do was, I wouldn't say that it wasn't a little bit challenging. There were a lot of steps involved in it with a lot of different things that had to be done in a certain order. But you've been very helpful. I've been able to call you and ask you questions, and it's just been really a nice situation for me because I've learned a lot, and I was able to work through those steps with your help.
So do you think it would have been something, I mean, you probably could have gotten it from a book or a course, but what you're saying is it's a little bit easier when you've got the ability to talk to somebody.
I think it's much easier, and I'm not sure that you could find it in a book. I've never seen this kind of information in a book before.
It's good information. Okay, so let's get down to some nuts and bolts in the part that people really want to hear. So you started mailing how long ago?
A month ago.
Okay, so it took a little while to get the project set up and like ready to mail. And I know that from working with you, you're very much the kind of person that wants to make sure all your ducks in a row, and you want to, you know, make sure it feels like ready to go. And so a month ago you mailed, and how many postcards have you mailed so far in the last month?
In the last month I mailed a little over 3,000. Okay,
and you've made how much?
Well, at this point my gross sales are about 11,500.
Wow. 11,500. So is it safe to say that if it continues along at this path, that's a little bit better than teachers' pay?
It's 3 or 4 times better than teachers' pay at this rate.
That's awesome. And really, I happen to know like the market that she's working in, and the market that her project is in. There's a lot of room for expansion. I mean, 3,000 piece mailing is a great start, but you're just barely getting started.
I feel like I'm really just scratching the surface, and I've started out with smaller mailings just to get used to the rhythm and to be able to do everything that I needed to do in the process of it, and to be able to afford to do the mailings, and then I can build up from there.
And if you were to be really completely honest, would it also have to do with the fact that you also want to prove to yourself that it works before you really, you know, bite off more than you can chew? So that first mailing, I remember you called me like when the orders started coming in. It was like, it works, Luke, it works.
Well, you know, I've tried many different things, and nothing like this before, but I haven't been real successful in those other endeavors. And this, when it really started working, I thought, wow, there is something that works. This is for real.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you sitting down and letting us come into your house today and sharing with people. I think that a lot of people watching this can identify with the idea that, you know, we're in the middle of pretty bad recession, and there are a lot of people out there that are scrambling around looking for things, and yet there are plenty of people that are making things happen.
It's possible. It really is.
Thanks a lot, Debbie. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.